says I'm live. Oh, hold on. That's you.
Yeah. Well, so I think it's a little behind.
Well, let's get rid of the
Put it up on your
lag.
phone. Well, I don't know how to do that.
No, my phone is like.
Well, I want to see what it looks like on your phone.
Oh, another channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see where it looks like. Oh.
So it looks like it's working.
Yeah. Let me check OBS.
Such a pain. Search accounts. Rose family travel. Hello. Okay, there's a bit of a lag, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think since we already started, I can't change that.
That's fine. I don't care. All right, guys.
There's a bit of a lag.
Hopefully you can hear me. And I got rid of the echo, I believe. And I'm josephstephenrose, in case you didn't know. Oh my gosh, my wife is here too. Okay, let's switch seats, honey, because I'm bigger than you. And we need the, I want you in a nice seat with the Hollywood lighting. So we can test that out by turning on here. I'm going to turn off the sound so there's no echo. All right, guys. So hopefully you can hear me. And I am looking for questions. And do you like this new studio light I got? I don't want the light in the... Okay, here. There it is. I need to make sure my wife looks beautiful. And now I want questions. I'm looking for questions. And like I said in the chat that I pinned, give me all caps and give me 3 question marks, and I see hearts. So that means stuff must be working. We do not see ourselves. Our screen is spinning, but I can see on the playback from another channel that it is working. And I look taller than you, Sveta, even though I'm in a small chair. So the subject is kids in Russia, and you guys are going to ask us questions, and we're going to answer the questions, and hopefully this is working. So, I have a question. It is from Mary. Mary's very reliable. Mary, thank you. So, Sveta, the first question. Oh, by the way, welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American. This is Mrs. Expat. If Russian children only start school at age 7, they start much earlier in the UK. They also start earlier in the US. I was technically 4 when I started, and that was not childcare. That was kindergarten, which in America is the first year of grade school. What do they do in kindergarten, and do they start learning to read and write before age 7? Do you want me to rephrase that, darling?
Yeah, definitely. They started at age 4 or 5. They started learning letters and reading and writing, but they still go to the same facility. They don't go to school. They still take their nap during the day, and they have the similar program, but they do start their preparation for regular school for sure.
So, and give us follow-ups if you guys want more details. And if we haven't answered your question yet, because that was just the first one and you already typed it, retype it because it goes away. So this one, no, it comes and goes, but they see us because the chats are coming in. The chats are coming in, and there's a lot of people in the live I can see. So this question is very important, Sveta. We want to know what you think about this. Did you watch SpaceX Starship launch yesterday? Should humans colonize space? It was hard for me to read that without laughing. Sveta?
I didn't.
Stay on topic, guys. I do know that it happened, though, because I have young male sons, one in particular that told me it happened. He was very excited about it, and he's actually your son. So,
Oh, really? I didn't know
yes.
about that.
Yes.
So what happened yesterday again?
Elon Musk did something cool.
Oh, I didn't watch. I've heard about this on the news.
So, guys,
So what do you
I
have,
think
a phone and
that
a
is
computer?
this
Computer.
phone is just me making sure the stream is functioning. So that's a
Ah.
separate channel.
Okay.
So another question, again from Mary. Thank you, Mary. Do they have obligatory swimming lessons in Russian schools? UK. It looks like she's saying the UK does.
I'm not sure about obligatory, but in some schools they have swimming as a part of physical education, like physical PE, we would call it.
Okay, so you don't have to do it,
You don't have to.
but they do have it.
Yeah, they have it. In some schools, not in all the schools.
In America, they did not have it when I was a child. You would pay for private swim lessons, and my mother did, to make sure we knew how to swim. Guys, please talk a bit louder. Thank you. I can bring the computer closer. My wife is a lady, though. I'm not sure how
I
loud
don't even know where
she's
to
going
look
to
at.
be.
I don't see myself. I don't see anyone.
That's
I
okay.
see you.
We can see you, Svetlana. Just stare at the black box in front of you. Just aim your eyes towards the center. So, guys, I'm waiting for a question, and as I wait, I might say something about kids in Russia, and Sveta might say something about kids in Russia. Svetlana, anything you'd like to say off the top of your head about kids in Russia?
Kids in Russia? Kids are wonderful.
That is very good. Very good synopsis. I actually always wanted to be a father, guys. Even when I was a child, I remember thinking it would be really cool to be a dad. And we've got a lot of people in the live chat, so please send us a question. But yeah, I mean, I was born in 1974, so I remember growing up thinking, wow, it is really cool being alive, and it'll be really cool one day if I can grow up and have kids. And to be honest, I wanted to have more boys than girls, and God likes me. I have more boys than girls. Only one girl.
I guess he likes you more than me. That's okay.
What did you want, Svetlana?
Well, I wanted to have a girl. I didn't have any biological girls, but that's okay. I have 3 biological boys and a girl.
Sorry
And
about
just
that.
that.
Yeah, we were hoping the last one would be a girl. But we love Maxime. Isn't he the cutest, guys? He's just as cute as a girl. Okay, next question. Are there mandatory vaccines for school children?
School children, well, they are highly recommended. They are not mandatory. Like if I don't want them to have vaccines, I can, write a paper. It's called exemption. Yeah, so a paper that's saying like I don't want my kids to be vaccinated.
An exemption.
Exemption, exactly.
So you can request to not be vaccinated.
Yeah, I can request to not be vaccinated.
Now in
but
America,
it's highly recommended.
In America, it would have to be a religious exemption. Is that what it is in Russia as well, or is it just an exemption because you wanted an exemption?
Yeah, it can be religious, or it can be just an exemption. Like as a parent, I don't want it, and they still would recommend, but they won't like kick out my child out of school. They won't do that.
Okay. What would you say to those who have thoughts about retiring in Russia? Very good question, Nina.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just the host. You're the guest.
Oh yeah, I'm the guest.
So you have to answer all the questions.
Okay, I
okay,
guess
no,
it's just
I can go
depends.
first because you
Yeah.
probably know more than me. So let me say my junior knowledge.
Yes,
And I've mentioned this before, I think somewhere. For all countries in the world, I believe the idea is you need citizens that are working hard and producing for your country. And some of these countries have funds where they take a little bit of what you earn, and when you are too old to work and you're retired, then the government gives that money back to you slowly. So I would assume there might be an issue if you never worked in the country you're coming to. But in all things, in most things, money talks. And if you close that phone, darling, can you see it? No, I can do it. it, like in all things, money talks. And so if you are coming and you have money to invest, then that's another story. But if you're coming to not produce anything or make any money, that could be an issue. I don't know. Sveta, do you know?
Well, I guess it's in both countries, in Russia and America. Most of the retired people, they still keep on working, just to kind of continue to be active, and they want to do something for the society. But some people, they live on their retirement money.
So I guess it's technically possible for a retired person to move here. Is that right?
Yes, it is. It just depends, like, what the situation. I think it's very, individual. So it depends on what the situation is, and what the profession is, and what this person wants to do here.
As someone who is not from here, I have thought a lot since I came here, because I'm kind of seeing it with fresher eyes in Sveta. When it's wintertime and there's snow and ice everywhere, and I'm falling and putting really bad bruises on my body, I'm thinking, my gosh, if I was like a senior citizen, if I was like a fragile person, if I was like the guy from Up, I mean, and I never lived here before and I moved here, would I just fall and die immediately?
You just need to learn how to walk in the snow and the ice.
Yeah, but if you don't grow up with it, can you?
I think you can, yeah.
Okay.
I think if you walk in the areas where, it's clean, and you have someone with you, you're not alone walking there in the dark.
Okay. Here is an off-topic question for you, Sveta, or I guess maybe for me, since I'm the director. Are you going to make more snack reviews? I found good prяники by Korovka brand.
Oh, wow.
So, I have done snack reviews, and I haven't posted them. They're sitting on my phone. I did one with Sveta, and then I did one with some Australian guys, and they're kind of short, and they're not that intelligent. They're fun, but they're not like I would say, they're not like, they don't hit all the markers of what I consider a good expat American show, so I'm not sure what to do with them. And the fall time for YouTube seems to be like a really big make or break season for a channel. So I'm getting the impression that all my episodes need to be really fantastic for this 3-month period. And I need to keep them coming, and they need to be good. And then after like January 15th, things slow down, and that's when I might mess around a bit and do some of the stuff that's not like the best episode ever. Just to be dead honest with you guys, these are my rough thoughts right now.
But пряники are cool.
Oh, Sveta, can you read this in Russian? It's a Russian question.
Вы планируете поездку в Крым? Do you plan the trip to the Crimea? Are we planning the trip to the Crimea?
Sveta wants to go to the Crimea.
Yeah, I would love to go. Where I went in my childhood a lot.
Like I said in the last live stream, I'm just so busy. Like everyone's ordering my steps. Meeting with different people, and I have this long list of episodes, ideas that I can never get to, because by the time I get one done, I have to go do this other one. So I don't really feel like I'm able to decide for myself what I'm doing, which is good news that we are so busy.
You actually can read Russian.
Yeah, okay, let me practice. The question was, Вы планируете поездку в Крым?
Молодец. Good job.
We're making each other laugh here.
You did it.
Okay, next question, Svetlana. Is it okay to say hello to strangers or smile at them on the street?
It is absolutely okay. The question is, I don't know if they smile you back or not, so don't be offended.
Well,
that's okay.
We
right?
talked about this in the last live stream. They might think you're mentally handicapped or something.
Well, I think it depends on how you act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
It's just going to be completely foreign to a
you.
Russian. They'll be like, why is this idiot smiling at me? I don't know them. Right?
Right.
And also in Russian, there's 2 different words for greeting someone. One is like, it's your friend, and one is very formal. So Would you say "Привет" to a stranger on the street? Absolutely not. Would you say "Здравствуйте"? Maybe.
You can also say "Доброе утро", "Добрый день", "Добрый вечер", and so on.
So someone just said we need to hear from your wife. Okay, so
I'm too wife.
maybe I don't know what that means. I think there's a bit of a lag, guys. So maybe you were referring to something that we passed a minute ago. Okay, so I'm scanning for the next question mark, and I pinned a comment at the very top, guys. It says, "Please all capture questions and like give me 3 question marks, so that'll help my eyes to see it." If you have a non-question thing you'd like to say, by all means say it, and I may end up reading it later on because I want to keep the pace going. Aha! I love that. That's the best thing that happened on this stream. Galina Fini just gave us $5. And that's the best thing because I'm only doing this, guys, because I've been told that subscribers like it and they like to make donations while I'm doing it.
That's why you're doing that?
That's why I'm doing it. I'm going to be dead honest with you, and you appreciate my honesty. I'm a busy guy. I got 5 kids and a wife, and I'm living in the cold. Help me. Give me a donation.
What's that called?
And you know how it is if you're close to my age. You only got so much time, And it is on my heart to make an exciting show to convince the world Rush is a good place and to entertain you guys. And an hour and a half live stream, unedited, I'm not convinced that that's the best entertainment. But if that's what people want, and if that's where people like to give donations, that's what I'll do. But if I get no donations, don't expect me to keep doing this. Okay. So thank you again, Galina Finney, for the $5. And to be dead serious, like I said before, this show is a full-time job. Takes up all my time and then some. And I make like $200 a month off of Google. So it is something we do to be benevolent for sure, because it's on our hearts, because we think it helps the world in general. And luckily, we can do it for now, but like all things cost money. So if we're not making money, we can only put so much into it. So we have another question. So my financial speech is over. How is the weather during the month of February? I'm planning a tourist visit there.
It varies. I think it just depends on the year. It can be 0 + 1, or it can be -10 degrees Celsius. It just depends. But usually it snows in February. It's pretty cold.
Yes. She said it varies. Maybe she said it with a British accent. And I would say if you had to pick the worst month for weather, well, maybe it's not February. Let's say if you had to pick the coldest month, your best bet is February. As far as the worst for weather, I would say when winter's ending, when it's all like mud snow everywhere. We actually moved here in February. People thought I was kind of crazy. And part of the reason was the plane tickets were cheapest then, because I think it's stinking cold.
My plan was because it's the end of the winter. Like, I was hoping so February, and then just a couple of more months and it will be warmer. So
honey, Mary heard our plea, and she very quickly figured out how to make a donation. She gave us £2. So
Thank you, Mary.
That means she's British. Like me. Although I'm only genetically British.
I don't know how many percent.
And I watched lots of British movies as a kid. So I'm scanning for the next question. And again, guys, the topic is kids in Russia. So I'd love it if we could stay on the topic. Oh, man. Mary, you were just beat by Victor. £10. Thanks, Victor. I still like you, Mary. Mary said that she is British. Okay, how do Russians react to your hair? I assume they mean me, but just in case they don't, we can both answer this question. So my hair was never long until Sveta became my wife, and she thinks it looks better on me, on my body type, if my hair is a little bit longer. It was cut, I think, less than a month ago, and this is how she had it cut. So she thinks it makes me look good.
Yeah, because your hair is very dense, so it's difficult to keep it short. So
Very
it
dense.
has to be longer.
It has to be like this, or it has to be like a buzz cut.
Right.
Otherwise, it just looks like a bush. And I'm used to it now. It's kind of nice not having to get your hair cut all the time. Wow, cool, guys. 50 people in the live chat. That's pretty good for a second live chat that is only about 30 minutes in. That was over 15 minutes late. So thank you. So I'm looking. Oh, and Sveta, your hair?
My hair?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's normal for Russian.
Okay,
Nobody tells me anything bad.
Did I fully answer this question? Let me see. How do I?
What is this red sparkles?
So that if someone likes what we're saying, they click a red heart for us. So as far as how do Russians react to my hair, they're too serious and quiet to say. But I do think that's one of the reasons why they know I'm not Russian. I've been accused of being Italian and German.
I think it's more about your face, not about your hair.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, your face looks like Anglo-Saxon face.
I see.
Yeah.
I still don't know how she does that, how she can tell.
I can just tell.
Okay, so question from Galina. I think I said it right that time. Finney. And Galina Finney made a donation, so we're going to be sure and answer this one well. How do your kids went to college with GPA from America? My daughter wants to go to MGU but has no EG, and I do not think she can pass it in Russian. So I remember Alex, your biological son, being disappointed because he worked really hard to get a good GPA, and then he came to Russia where the GPA didn't matter. So go ahead, Sveta, explain that loudly.
So if you're a foreigner, if you don't have a Russian citizenship, then you will just enter the regular exams. And it depends on the university, and also it depends on the faculty you want to enter. So it can be one exam or two exams. They can be in English. It just depends. Again, if you choose the Russian program, it probably will be in Russian, or you can go to the preparation course first to take 1 year of Russian, studying Russian, and then enter the university. Or you can go to an English program. Like we have a few universities where the program is in English, or probably even in German, like in a couple of different languages.
Mm-hmm.
So then you will take an exam.
Right. And she said her daughter wants to go to MGU, and our daughter, Aurora, is going to MGU. And she's actually going in the Russian program. She did not want to be treated differently.
Yeah, and she already knew enough Russian. She was speaking well when she entered the university. So she was able to take an exam and pass it. I think 3 exams, right? 3 exams for her.
Yeah, I don't remember. Dads don't remember stuff like that. So, and I want to be sure I answer this thoroughly. My daughter wants to go to MGU but has no EG. I do not think she can pass it in Russian. EG, do you mean English? Or is that something else? Maybe that's a designation I'm not familiar with.
Maybe it's IGA. IGA.
So we just got a hello from Sasha from Russia. It's not a question, but hello, Sasha.
Hello, Sasha.
We just met Sasha recently. And Sasha and I may have filmed something with another member of the Expat American crew that you might see soon. So let's see here. Cool. No more questions? Come on, guys. Give us some questions. Sveta, what about you? How do you feel being a mother?
I feel great. I'm tired most of the time, but I'm a happy mom. It's a lot of things to do, a lot of fun.
Is that your number one role in life, being a mother?
It should be. I think I am a Christian first, and then a wife, and then a mother, and then a businesswoman, something like that.
Fantastic.
I'm trying.
I like it. It's hard to rank those things, but yes, Christian first, and probably spouse second, and third is a good order. So let's see here. Spicy Paranoia Agent is back. What's up? You gave me lots of comments last time. Appreciate it. So question, how big is your apartment, Svetlana?
Our apartment? You want me to be honest?
Please.
Well, I think, if I remember right, it's 130 square meters.
130 square meters, she
meters.
says. It's about 2/3 the size of the house we were living in Florida. So it's pretty good size. Pavel was here, and he said
Yeah,
it's
we
the
can't
biggest
complain.
flat he's ever seen.
No, there are bigger flats.
I know,
It's
but
not the
that's what he
biggest,
said.
yeah.
Well, he said I've never seen bigger with his Russian accent. That didn't sound Russian. And we actually have a video on this place. It's one of our older videos. One of the first ones I did. It's called Big Moscow Flat. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom of our videos list and look at the old ones, you have me walking around. That was before I started being funny on the channel, I think. So it might be hard to get through. You might have to do 2 times speed. It took me a few videos to realize people want me to make jokes. Someone said I was asking about donations in rubles. So Sveta does have our bank card in the description of every show. So Russians can make donations that way through her Sberbank card.
And they do. Thank you, Russians.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we definitely do. Do you pay for MGU or your kids got in for free?
No, we pay for Aurora.
Okay.
Yeah. But actually, there are some grants for foreigners. You just need to look them up. Because if you're a foreigner, you also can study for free. We just didn't know it ahead of time, and we didn't have time to investigate this. But you actually can get a grant and study for free.
So it says here. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I was just wondering where I can check the time. I want to make sure this video doesn't go more than an hour and a half. Well, I know what time it is, but I don't know when we started because we started so late.
Yeah, we had some technical issues.
It's just better if it's under 90 minutes so that more people will watch the playback in the future. So question, being from Canada, this is from Spicy Paranoia Agent, I'd like to know what advantages, benefits parents get from the government. What special programs are there for children?
Special programs.
So loudly tell them.
Yeah,
but wait, I must break in with a special announcement. We just got $20 from Amar 350Z. So I appreciate that. That's probably the biggest donation off of a live stream we've ever gotten. So Sveta, go ahead, answer that question.
Yeah, so it's hard to answer because there are so many different things, but I think the main is, of course, the secondary education is free. The kindergarten is almost free. So if you have 3 children and more, so you have almost everything for free or really, really cheap. So you'll have a lot of classes for your children, which will really cost just a little bit or almost free. You'll have almost free breakfast and dinners for the children and some extracurricular activities after school. It's also will be free or almost free. So what else? Other programs?
Give us a follow-up if we missed something. Sasha from Russia again has a question this time.
I forgot, they also pay you a little bit money for different expenses, like if you need to buy a uniform in the beginning of the year. They're paying for even for your mobile phones if you need it, and if you have more than 3 children, you will have the parking around Moscow for free. Everywhere you can park for free if you have a car and 3 children or more.
And that just made me think of one thing. For instance, there's a lot of free events you can go to. Did you say that or not around town? Like there's that fake Disney here in Moscow, and we're hoping to take the kids there if you guys want us to for a video. Probably like right before the holiday break for the kids. And because we have so many kids, we get it fairly cheap. Right, Sveta?
Right. It will be a discount because of our family. We have many children. Also, I forgot. So if you have, I don't remember the years now, but we got one. So if you have 1 child and then the second child, you will get a good amount of money from the government. You can invest, like you can improve your apartment or build a house and put some of this money into this, or you can pay for your education, for your child's education. Maybe you're older.
So Sasha from Russia asked, have we been to the Ivanova region? Is that where the City of Brides is?
Yes, we were in the
Aha,
Ivanova region.
yes,
Yeah,
we have
not
been there.
everywhere, but
It is a successful video, I would say, views-wise. It's got an intriguing title. It's called The City of Brides. And it's plenty of fun, so if you guys didn't see that, check it out. Thanks for that question, Sasha. And what is your favorite vacation city in Russia? Oh, before you answer that, Sveta, Nina just gave us $2.79.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nina Gal. I don't know if Gal is her last name or if she's just like Nina Gal, like the gal. So, what is your favorite vacation city in Russia?
Mine or yours?
Oh, we'll both answer. You go first.
Well, actually, it's hard to say. I love the south of Russia, of course. I love Sochi and the area around Novorossiysk. I also liked Karelia. Actually, I was impressed. I didn't expect that I would like it, but it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't raining so much, it was, a great area. What about you?
I love St. Petersburg.
Oh, St. Petersburg.
It's very
Yes,
European in a
definitely.
good way. Not that Russia is not technically in Europe, just so I don't offend any of you. But I just mean Europe as a style of a city. And I love Rosa Hutor, which is like a fairly new, I believe, ski village that Russia built just north of Sochi. I think it's technically in Sochi. I believe it was partially created for the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. So those two places are very nice.
I also like Gelendzhik. It's like the place where it's very beautiful and mountains, and I would love to get back there. I was there maybe 15 or more years ago. People say it's changed a lot. You haven't been there yet.
No,
So
I
I have
haven't.
to
I've
take you.
only been in Russia on the west side. I'd like to go to where Dan, the wild Siberian, lives off Lake Baikal in winter and see it like all frozen. That'd be really cool. And I'd love to take like a river cruise, like a Volga river cruise. Those things are on my heart. Mary,
I don't see it. Maybe
what?
behind. No,
Oh, the lag.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
just,
the lag. Right. Oh, and there it tells us how long we've been going. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, good. So Mary from Britain also asked, do kindergarten children wear uniforms? So Mary, in America versus Russia, and you can tell us maybe if you want to type what it's like in Britain, but in America, you have child care, which is what you pay for if you want, from as soon as your kid is old enough, 6 to 8 weeks, to it's time for them to go to free public grade school. And the first year of free public grade school is called kindergarten. And that's that. And then the next year, the second year, is first grade. So that's the American system. Sveta, in Russian,
No, for
how
us,
is it as far as
kindergarten,
uniforms and
it's,
stuff?
yeah, the kindergarten for Russia, it's everything before the actual school. And they don't need to wear uniform. They have a lot of holidays, though, a lot of different performances, and the recent one, Maxim, so we'll have another one coming up. But for the first grades, it's in most of schools, it is, yes, they do have uniform in many schools, but in some schools they don't. Again, it depends on the school. I like it when they have uniform. It's kind of makes them look, professional and serious about studying. So in our school, they have uniform.
Well, I wouldn't say exactly they have a uniform. What they have for Christoph is they say this is the dress code. And then you go and you buy whatever clothes you want that fit the dress code standard. So all the boys in Christoph's school, they look like they're wearing some sort of business suit or business clothes. But they're not exactly matching in the same and they're told to wear like a garnish color, and I like that. I think that's perfect, because the thing about a uniform is everyone looks exactly the same, and then there's not a whole lot of picking on each other because you're just you all look the same. But if there's no uniform, you kind of get to express yourself, but you can get teased and stuff at school. So having just a dress code, I think, is the perfect middle ground. So someone asked, do you listen to modern, or James Smith? You're not someone, you or James Smith. Do you listen to modern pop music, guys?
Well, I listen from time to time. I'm not I don't remember when was actually the last time I was like specifically listening to the music. I'm just so busy.
You listen to pop music more than I do, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, exactly. It's usually when you're trying to fall asleep. I hear the Russian pop music on.
Sometimes, once a month.
Yeah, so I grew up listening to rock and roll because that's what my father listened to. And then when I was like a teenager, young adult, I listened to a lot of 70s rock and roll. But I really loved movies, so I also listened to movie soundtracks when I was listening to rock and roll. And then as I got older, I kind of switched to classical music because it didn't have words in it, and I was able to enjoy the music without someone preaching to me about something superficial like love. I mean, superficial love, not real love. So we got a $10 donation from Jamie Hidalgo. Jamie, wait, it's not Jamie, it's Jaime. Jaime? I apologize, Hidalgo, for saying that wrong. And you leave lots of comments, and I appreciate it. And thanks to the $10, seriously. So, where is the next question? So, yeah, try to get a better webcam. That is a pain. We know it, man. All right. This is our second live chat. We're just kind of experimenting here. And on the first one, last week, I got it all set up, and I had to ditch it and open up a new stream because it just wouldn't open on my phone. It kept crashing. And then this week, I couldn't get it to work on my computer for some reason. The camera would not let me access the camera. So I had to quickly go on Sveta's, and then we were 15 minutes late because for whatever reason it was saying we didn't have the streaming equipment. So I'm grateful that it's working at all right now. But yes, you're right. We will get better and better at this if we do not fail and completely close up shop. We are stumbling forward all the time, and that's why we need your donations. But no, I mean, just go look at like my early videos and look at my videos now, and you'll see we're getting better and better and better. But if you do want to make yourself suffer and watch those older videos, make sure you do it on 2x speed. So, next question. Is it hard to rent a car for an American tourist? Sorry for the off-topic question. Thank you for apologizing, but you made a donation, so we will answer.
I don't think it's hard. I think it just depends on the place. Again, if it's like barely inherited, I started forgetting English words. Inhabited, place. It's difficult, but like big cities like Moscow, St. Pete, and other big cities, Kazan, it's not difficult at all. You can rent a car. You can also do the car sharing.
So it's just similar to America.
Yeah.
So it is Jamie Hidalgo. Good deal, Jamie. All right, next question. Would you recommend maternity care in Russia or the USA? Svetlana. And I have some follow-ups after you answer that.
Maternity care, the insurance or?
I assume whatever care you would get to have a baby before and after. The follow-up questions are, how was the care for babies within the first 6 to 12 months? Paternity leave, so leave for parents, from work as a father?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just trying to think how to even compare that. So in Russia, we have the system where you have a baby and you will stay in the hospital for 5 days. I think in America it was 3 days if you're a kid. 2 days, right? How long?
3.
3 days.
Maybe
right.
2 nights.
2 nights. So in Russia it's about 5 days, and then you'll go home, and then the doctors will come to your house the next day to check on your baby. And they will come probably the first 5 days every day. And then they'll come like not that often. But again, maybe something has changed because I had my son 19 years ago in Russia, and then I have two boys in the U.S. So, and it was nice. So it was a nice hospital, and we came back home, and then I think we had to take them to the hospital, to the clinic, to see the doctor. Right? I'm studying for this. I think we did it. Because Christopher Maxine took them.
Dads don't remember stuff like that.
Yeah. So we went to the doctor to check on them. And it was nice.
So Sveta, New Handelman wants you to know that they made a donation on your Sberbank card and to check it on your phone if you're able during the stream and see if it came in.
Thank you guys. We'll check right now.
So
I think I wasn't that detailed about the maternity care. There are
oh,
more
you can
things.
continue if you want. Or you guys can just give us a follow-up question if she didn't quite answer
Yeah,
it.
because I think in Russia we have a variety of different hospitals, and some of them I would say they are not that good and they need improvement, but some of them are good and some of them are great, but they're quite expensive. So again, it just depends on what hospital you choose, what city you're at. But in America it's nice, but it was very expensive. Like we had a good insurance, but I can think if people don't have the insurance,
Oh, man.
I don't know how much they will have to pay
It
for
would,
this care.
if you're not accustomed to it, it was very expensive in America. And we're business owners in America. I can only imagine what it must be like if you are not a business owner, if you were just employed by someone having a bunch of kids in America. And I have met people in America where they're like, well, we're not sure if we're going to have another kid because it's just so expensive. And that thought never crossed my mind. And I feel bad if someone's in that situation. So
I actually had money from my
You got it?
Sberbank account.
Very
Thank you,
good.
guys.
Thank you, New
Thank you.
Handelman. Yeah, so in case you missed it, if you're joining late, we have the Sberbank card if you're a Russian, you want to donate in rubles in the comment section, not the comment section, in the description section of every video. Okay, were your children born in America or Russia? I can answer this one, darling,
Sure.
and you can correct me if I get
Yeah.
something wrong.
I don't think you will get something wrong.
My first two children were born in America with my previous wife, one in California and one in Florida.
No,
and
you only have one previous wife. I'm your second. Don't confuse
yes,
me.
your wife number two.
Yes.
We love to call each other that. Oh, wife number two, husband number two. It's very romantic. And Sveta's first child from a previous marriage was born in Moscow. And then we had Christoph, and he was born in America, and Maxime was born in America. And we had no idea that we would ever be living in Russia at that time. You want to follow up with anything on that, Sveta?
No, you were correct.
I got it
you
right?
did it right.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
make-
didn't
okay.
forget it.
Good,
Yeah.
good. All right. So we have a hello from the Slovenian devil. I am here. Do you know who that is? That is short from the episode. Can Russians speak English? So you remember that now?
Right. Yeah.
Hello, devil man. Hello, Chort. And if your conscience is sensitive, disregard what I just said. I'm a serious Christian. Don't be offended. Okay, next question. Do you pay taxes if you are retired in Russia, like other countries where you are double taxed?
It's a very good question. I don't know. Seriously, that will be something for us to investigate. Because we're not retired yet, but I don't think Russians pay taxes
Well,
from the retirement money.
so I've heard that if you are a citizen of America, you will always pay your taxes, period, no matter where you live. But you would fill out a waiver saying, you have paid, like, let's say I might send a certain form to my tax man in America that I paid this much for this in Russia, and so then America does not charge me so much, something like that, so that you are supposedly technically not double taxed. But I don't know, and I
think
just...
they just changed this rule in Russia, though. I'm not quite sure, but I think you were, you used to be not judged, double judged, but now I think they changed it. But I'm not sure. That's something I've heard.
Svetlana, not you. Thank you for giving us $4.99. Seriously appreciate it a lot. The Devil Man short is not offended, Sveta. Okay. Follow up from Jamie. Would I be taxed on my income from Social Security or pension?
Will you be charged?
No, would he?
Oh. You mean in the U.S.?
Yes, that's a he. Jamie could be man or woman.
No, in the
America.
U.S. or
I
where?
see your tie though in your profile picture. So I guess if he's coming from the U.S. and he's retiring here and he's got pension money coming in from the U.S., is he going to be taxed on that?
In Russia or in the U.S.?
In Russia.
I don't think so, because you will pay taxes if you're like self-employed or you're working for someone.
Yeah, I'm almost certain Russia's not going to be taxing you on anything coming in from America. Even if they wanted to, they don't have that level of monitoring. Right, exactly. New Handelman said that's not income, is it? Yeah, I would also have the same question. So taxes in both countries is kind of on the honor system, but the penalty is severe. That way, most people pay their taxes. And they make the penalty severe because both countries can't really afford to have every person checked so carefully. How receptive are Russian higher-ups to your work of promoting good people coming to Russia? Spicy paranoia agent. So what do Russian government higher-ups think of us promoting people to come to Russia? How do they feel about us telling people come to Russia, come to Russia, come to Russia? Sveta? She's the government person.
Yeah, so I think in general they are very interested in this topic, and they invited us. I'm actually going to talk again this upcoming week, so in one of the conferences, and I will try to explain that. So some laws still have to be changed, and it will really benefit for Russia. So in general, they like it. So they like that, we are talking about this, but it's not that fast as we wish it would be. So it's still not that fast changing. So the changes should be done soon.
And some of our videos we've been able to do because we've been given access from government people that said, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You want to film here? So they're definitely aware of us and like what we're doing. I don't know what they think exactly, but it is my opinion that Russia should try to collect as many traditional family value, hardworking people as they can, because Russia needs more people. And the world in general, the Western world, let's say, is not producing enough babies to continue existing. And apparently it is a serious, serious problem in Western Europe, so serious that they will not recover. And it's over for them long term, is what I hear. That they will have to take immigrants from other countries just to continue.
And that's what they have been doing so far. Yeah.
And so this is something that Russia needs to be careful of. So goodbye, Mary. Mary has to leave, guys.
Bye, Mary.
So I'm looking for the next question mark. Again, I pinned the comment at the top. If you have a question, try to double cap it, all caps it, and give me 3 question marks so my eyes can catch it quicker. Are those conferences open to the public? By the way, Sveta, you're really pretty.
Oh, thank you so much. Some of these conferences, yes, if it's like the public chamber conference, the public can come, and some of them are not. Some of them, it's kind of like round tables where we discuss some things, and you need to be invited. If you're like in this area, you're doing something, what the topic is going to be about, the conference is going to be about.
And whenever I think of it and have time, I post to our what's it called, that service? Patreon. I post our speeches on the Patreon account, so you can see those there.
Are they available on Telegram?
Yeah, if you can go find them, and if I remember to post the link, oftentimes I forget, and sometimes I forget to go grab a recording and post it. But some of our speeches are on Patreon, and also you guys have seen I sprinkled them in to videos. If you have not seen any of our speeches and you're curious, go look up the Russian Residency, Who Wants Russian Residency video. That's got a good speech in it. So, next question. Do you miss America?
Me?
These questions are for you, darling, but I'll answer too.
Not yet, not that much. So I'm actually missing, I would say, the nature of Florida and some comfortability, like in some areas. But not so much. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm missing America. No.
Yeah, she loves Wakulla Springs, which is this, like untouched piece of nature near Tallahassee, Florida. And it's actually where they filmed like black and white Tarzan movies. So just to give you an idea, it looks
beautiful.
That jungly and wild. And
I don't miss snakes.
It's got snakes and alligators and crocodiles. If you do a search for Joseph Stephen Rose on Facebook, you can find lots of photos of us as our kids are growing up, and then I have some on Instagram as well, which is linked in the show description now for the newer shows. I don't miss America at this point in time. Sveta started missing Russia after about 3 years. I've been here a year and a half. Part of the reason why I don't miss America is because, like I've said before, I'm a Christian first, and we're part of the same church that we were in America, so our community is very similar. Plus, we're a family of 7, so we're pretty busy interacting with the same people we interacted with in America. It's not like we're just, empty nesters coming here by ourselves. We're very busy with 7 people, and 20% of our time is with other people, just like it was in America, probably, let's say. And plus Moscow is very busy. There's a lot to see and do, so you don't really have time to stop and be bored. Off the top of my head, if I were to miss anything about America, it's probably going to be Disney World, because I'm from Florida and I grew up going there, and it's just a fantastic resort for families. But I don't know if I'll ever miss it, because again, there's so much to do here in Russia, and we want to check out that fake Disney park in Moscow.
Fake Disney park.
What's it called?
Your names.
What's it called?
Something Ostrov Mechty. The Island of Dream or something.
Okay, yeah, something like that. Right.
I've never been there, so it'll be my first
So let
time.
us know if you guys want us to do a video about that. So next question. Tell us, how did you meet Svetlana? Okay, so I guess I have to answer this one.
How did you meet Svetlana?
Okay, I'll just think of a way to tell it quickly and entertainingly, because I've said this story before. But, we were both in our 30s, unmarried, with children, alone, but going to church, and we knew the same people, even when we were never married and hadn't had kids yet, but we just happened to never meet. So I wondered if we hadn't married who we married, maybe God would have brought us together sooner, but she says that would have been a mistake, because we are much more mature because of the trials and tribulations that we went through. But it is interesting to find out that we were in the same church community, had similar friends, the same acquaintances, and we never met each other. But in our 30s, we did meet at a church conference, and I remember the first time we breathed the same air was actually in Los Angeles, California, and she was there to see some friends before she went to the conference in Texas, and I was there to see some church friends and also take, I almost said the name. Okay.
First child.
To take my first child, because some people don't know, guys, and they need to go watch more shows and figure it out. My first child to an acting competition. He is a trained actor. He's got 10 years of experience. And if you know who he is, that's why he is the way he is. Part of it is who he is for real, and part of it is him using his skills to entertain you. But yeah, I remember going and having our first date with Sveta, and we did like the Hollywood bus tour. And it went so well that we went and had another date in Texas like a few days later. So that's how we met. So give us a follow-up if you want to hear more, but I don't want to bore people who have already heard the story. Would having ancestry in Russia aid in obtaining citizenship? I think the answer is yes. Sveta?
Yes, the answer is yes, but it's not that easy. So that's what we're working on, to make it really simple for people who want to do it.
They said here, my mother's side is Volga German.
So it's probably yours.
Yeah, so my
Just
family line, we know, came to America from Russia through Ellis Island. And I have German DNA. And my great-grandparents that came by boat, it's a German name, right?
German names. Yeah.
So we're thinking we're Volga German. Sveta, do you want to try and read this in Russian here? Or it says, I'll practice. Привет! Bela kamanaya kak pagoda мерзнете.
Мерзнете. Белокаменная. Как погода, мерзнете. Yeah, today is actually cold, but it's going to be warm again in a week. So it will be around 0. So, but this is not really cold. So this autumn is really not that cold. We're enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, I wish it would snow already. I mean, come on, man. It's
You'll see.
November is
You'll
2/3 over.
Yeah.
We had one snowfall, it lasted for 2 days. Am I in Russia or not? So we have a few questions here, and keep typing in the chat, guys, so that I know that it's actually running, because sometimes my screen freezes up. How do you attend church in Russia? Well, we get on the metro and we go to church. Have you attended a Russian mosque or synagogue? We have not attended a mosque. We visited a mosque that was very beautiful as tourists in Kazan on our playlist called Not Moscow. A synagogue, I have not visited a synagogue. There's just not that many. I don't think there's any less synagogues than there are in America. There's just less Jewish people on the planet, I believe. How are religious people viewed in society? Sveta?
It's a hard question, because we didn't ask them specifically, like, how do you feel about religious people, right?
Mm-hmm. But what's your impression, because you're a Russian?
My impression that people are very tolerant to different religions. Like, they wouldn't be concerned if what religion you're. So I think very tolerant, and they don't care so much about what religion you have or what you believe.
Either I read it wrong or you edited it. Do you attend church in Russia? Yes, we do attend church in Russia. But honey, you have told me that it is different in that when you're in America, there's this feeling that everyone just feels like they are just Christian. Whereas in Russia, there's not that cultural feeling.
Right.
So
there
explain
are not so
yourself.
many church goers in Russia. Like, there are people who would consider themselves Christians or believers, but they don't go to church like every Sunday. Like, let's say in America, it's more a tradition that people would go to church, to any church on Sunday, right? At least in the south of the US, because I haven't been on all the states, but the place where I was living, I had this feeling like everyone believes in God, everyone is a Christian or type of Christian, they believe that they're Christians, and they go to church somewhere. At least before COVID started. That
Mhm.
was like that.
But in Russia, like Russians in general, they're
Russia,
like, what?
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
anything.
They are not like church goers, so.
Right. So again, give us follow-ups if we don't adequately answer your question, guys. So, new Handelman, who gave you a donation on your Sberbank card. Any news of American Village that Tim Kirby was building? So, what are you able to say about that?
Oh, actually, maybe that will be the news from Tim Kirby. I don't want to steal it from him, but I think there will be different places now where there will be American villages. Like there are more places where they're going to start it. But about the old one, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. I get questions on that all the time. Sveta is a bit involved in it. I was just hosting a show on it, so unfortunately, I only know as much as a show host from one show would know. But yeah, if you have more questions on that, ask Tim or send my wife emails. So glad to see you. Your family is great. What do you think about your future in Russia? I mean, will you return to the U.S. or you will stay in Russia anyway? And so while I answer this, guys, think of questions that are related to kids in Russia. But I don't mind if you ask me whatever you want. But for people that are tuning in, they want to know about kids in Russia. So I can't, like I said in the last live chat, I can't imagine living anywhere else right now. At the same time, when I lived in America, I also couldn't imagine living anywhere else right now. Right now, Russia is for traditional family values. They're headed in a positive direction, I believe. So Russia is a great place for me to raise my kids. According to average life expectancy, I will be dead in 29 years. Maxime is 5. So I don't really see myself living anywhere else ever. But who knows? Sveta, do you want to say anything about that?
Well, I agree. I'm enjoying living in Russia, and I want my kids to have this experience, definitely to live in Russia. So, and I just hope that this world is not going to be that crazy, and they will be able to live here, stay here, and enjoy our life, and help other people.
So, do you know Russian?
Do I know Russian? Russian language?
I guess.
Yes, I do.
She knows Russian.
Of course.
I take 2 90-minute lessons a week. I want to know it, and I feel bad that I don't know it. It is very difficult. Everyone in my household speaks it better than I.
But you're getting better. You're improving.
Thank you, Sveta.
He has been
Thank
improving.
you. Thank you so much.
You just don't
Svetlana.
hear him much because his shows are in English, but he does speak Russian. He's practicing.
So, Salam Diga. I'm sorry if I said that terribly. I read these names all the time. You guys leave comments, but rarely do I pronounce them out loud. Greetings from your biggest fan, literally the biggest. How's it going? You are a big fan because you comment a lot, but I haven't seen any donations from you, so maybe you're not the biggest. I'm just teasing you. Maybe you donated, I forgot. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Joseph, you've been living in Russia for 1.5 years. Do you feel yourself a little bit Russian? Well, I mean, I do get that type of compliment from Russians who are watching my show from time to time, that I am more Russian than this Russian person or that Russian person, especially if I have a guest on that they don't like.
I think you are more Russian than your soul, like when you met you.
When you met me?
When I met you, I just felt like there is something Russian in him. And sure enough, I found out that your, great-grandparents were from Russia, because there is something there, for sure. Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. Thank you, Sveta. But yeah, I mean, I it's my full-time job now to examine Russia and do shows about Russia and get to know Russia. So if I'm told that I'm anything like that, it definitely makes me feel nice. So hopefully we're still talking loud enough for you guys. Sveta, your voice is disappearing. Darling, get it together.
Okay. I will.
So I'm looking for question marks. And it looks like I gotta scroll down. Someone commented, Hirokaya, daughter have difficulty to keep Japanese. Rephrase that for me. I don't know what that means. So yeah, and if we keep doing this, guys, well, if I keep getting donations in the live chat, test it out, make sure it's still working. Send me $1. Then we'll keep doing the live streams, and we will get more equipment. You know, if I'm only gonna do this one more time, I'm not gonna spend any equipment on it. But you know, if I'm gonna keep doing it, of course, we will get equipment. I just bought this light. Do you see it? I don't see it because there's a 1 minute delay. I just bought that light to
helps to see our faces.
Yeah, exactly, to brighten up the face. So next question. Greetings from Serbia. Thank you for your love to Russia. Okay, here's something in Russian. Joseph, что может тебя заставить вернуться домой? What could make me leave Russia and go back to the U.S.? I mean, if I felt like myself and or my family were in some sort of physical or emotional danger, that would make me go back to the U.S. But it'd have to be pretty darn bad because, you know, I feel like my family might be in emotional danger living in the U.S. right now, if they were. So we got $2 from Amar 350Z. I think you already gave us money, so thanks for the test. It's still working, guys. You can make donations too. Yeah, I'm also curious about keeping Japanese. I don't know what that meant. Sorry, Hirokaya. So guys, we are coming into the final third here. So we're at 1 hour and 6 minutes. And that might sound like there's a lot of time left to go, but this time moves fast. And I want you to know that if you have a question, please leave it quickly on the topic of kids in Russia. Kids in Russia is our #1 viewed video of all time, which is embarrassing to me because I think that video stinks, but it's been watched more than any other video. It was just my first interview, and my interview guest fell through, so I took Christoph as my interview guest, and I only had one camera. I wasn't sure how to do the interview, so I filmed my questions and I filmed his answers separately, and it looks very obviously chopped up. I hate it. But it is a cute video at times, and apparently people like it. So it's...
And Christoph's favorite phrase is, I don't know, right?
yes.
He likes to say it a lot.
In the
I
videos,
don't know.
yes, exactly. So, yeah, that's true. Someone just said, Yandex does not translate it live. Yeah, when I end this stream in less than 30 minutes, guys, it'll take about 24 hours to process. And then it will be available with the Yandex dubbing. I don't know why, but it's just something about it. I mean, it's still miraculous that Yandex dubs it. And I sound like, you know, a happy, light guy. and Josiah sounds like he's like Stalin's bodyguard or something when I listen to the dubbing. So let's see here. I'm looking for the next question. So, do you keep in touch with your friends in the USA? How do they feel about your living in Russia? Well, I can answer this first, and then you can answer if you want, Sveta. A lot of people that I know in the USA, when things are getting intense here with the sanctions and the embassy saying to leave, and special military operation, and all this stuff, they started sending me concerned texts and emails. Oh man, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I would say, yes, we're fine. And then it would be like, oh my gosh, I think you should leave. And I would explain how we're fine. And the response I got from that in many cases was then nothing. So they just didn't want to hear it. And that's sad. That's too bad. That's not the case for everybody. There are still people I keep in contact with, but most people have stopped communicating with us because they didn't like what we had to say, and I don't feel bad towards them at all. What it tells me, though, because these are good, kind people that I know, what it tells me, though, is that is how very powerful the mainstream media is. That you're going to hear that over what someone on location is telling you about a place. And that's sad. And that tells you how powerful it is, and that tells you how important it is to have shows like ours of just normal people out on the street, going to normal places, and showing the world this is what it's really like here. So we really appreciate you guys being subscribers and liking and sharing and making donations. So let's see here. Sveta, did you want to say anything about that?
No, I just wanted to say that some friends, they stopped talking to us, but there are some new people who were watching our channel and they wanted to come to Russia because they have never been to Russia and they were scared, they were afraid. And then they even commented like, we were afraid to come, but we were watching you more and more, and then we decided to come. And actually, some families, they went this summer and they were happy that they did, that they came in spite of their fears. So it's kind of encouraging to hear that people can see what Russia is, and now they went back and they want to tell their relatives and families that it's not a scary place.
So
nice.
Someone said, I live in Sofia, Bulgaria, and here it is a big problem getting their kids into school. There's no available spots. Is it difficult to get your kids into a public kindergarten or public school in Russia?
No, it always has, there is a spot for any child.
What was that, honey? Loudly?
Oh, loudly? Okay, no, it's not a problem. So some schools, they have a lot of kids, but school still has to accept your child. So it can't be like your child won't be accepted. They will find a spot for your child in school.
I read that question already.
I believe even if you're a foreigner, they will take your child.
Okay, here's an important question. Did you know, Sveta, that your kids are very cute?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
So give me another question, and we will end this thing in about 15 minutes. Our kids are very cute. The kid videos are very popular. It's probably why I have almost 50% female audience, which from what I understand is a big deal on the internet, because usually anything internet related is a 90% male audience. But I think because of the kids, we have a lot of females that like watching the show, and the kids episodes definitely do well. So there's the one, this is based off of Kids in Russia. So this is Kids in Russia Live. Then we also have Kids in School in Russia, which is a big hit. And I didn't think it would be, because I look at it as a guy, and I'm like, that sounds kind of boring. And it's not very cinematic. It's not like a funny, exciting story. It's just a dad showing clips of a school and his wife talking about it. But people like that video. And the same with the video where you and I take Maxime to the doctor. That also I thought was a terrible video, but it did very well. People really want to know. People want to see real videos about just regular life, because they want to know, is this what it's going to be like for me? So let's see. What was your impression of Russia? That's a very broad question. Give me a follow-up if you like, but I'll try to answer it. My first impression of Russia was wow, this place looks normal.
2013, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
I was scared because of all the propaganda I had been served, and even the Time magazine article I read on the plane on the way over there saying that if you're an American in Russia, they're going to be spying on your every word. So I spent the entire 4 or 5 day trip, talking about stupid stuff and not saying anything deep, because I didn't know if someone was actually listening to me. But my eyes saw that everything was normal. but I wasn't too scared not to ask Sveta to be my girlfriend on that trip.
I think you told me the last day before you left that article you were reading on the plane.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that you were concerned all this for several days.
What kind of visa do you have? Well, I guess it's superfluous now, right? Maybe I have a visa, but it doesn't matter
well, you
anymore.
have your residency.
Yeah. So now I have a residency.
With your tourist visa.
I came with the tourist visa, and that's why I recommend people get a 3-year tourist visa. With that, although it's good for 3 years, you do have to leave the country every 6 months for 24 hours. And that happened to me once where I had to leave the country. And if you want to hear that crazy story, you can do so in my previous live stream video, Is Russia Scary? But yeah, so then I went and got my residency, and that is something that I have to renew every year. For how long, Sveta? Just the rest of my life or until I become a resident?
Every 6 months, yeah.
I have to renew it every 6 months?
The residency. After the visa. I think for 5 years every year.
Okay, and then after 5 years, what?
It's not even renew. It's like
just
you
like
are
proof
reporting
that I'm still...
prove you're still here.
Okay. And then what, after 5 years, I don't have to do that anymore? Or I have to keep doing it until I become a citizen?
That's a good question. So the laws change a lot, so we'll need to figure it out.
Right,
but
right,
you are now allowed to apply for your citizenship as I know.
And their follow-up question, how do you get... Oh, so I could apply for citizenship
you could
now?
apply, yeah.
How do you get permission to permanently live in Russia? Sveta?
Permission to permanently live in Russia. So that's a broad question because there are so many different, it depends on your case. So do you want to study? Do you want to work here? Do you have a family here? Do you have citizens, like any family members who are Russian citizens? Are you married to a Russian? Do you want to have business in Russia? It's just, a lot of different options. So you can email me. You have the email address, right?
Yes, her email is in the description of every video. So, and she assists people in relocating to Russia. So send her an email if you're at all serious. She'll be happy to answer your questions based on whatever details you have.
Yeah, it's very different for any case.
Is having residency good enough, or should one aim for citizenship?
Again, it depends on your goal, so what you want to do. So with the residency, you have pretty much the same rights. You cannot vote. I think it's like in America, you can't vote. And what else? I don't even know what else.
Yeah, I don't know
I
either.
think
That's our spot-on expertise for you guys. Should someone aim for citizenship? Well, I mean, if you're here with a visa for work, your company is going to keep renewing that visa as long as they want you. If you get citizenship, then you're going to have a little bit more you can do as far as voting, for instance.
Or buying land.
Did you see Snowden over there? No, I did not see Snowden. I do get asked that from time to time. Have Snowden on your show, interview Snowden. My impression is Snowden is not looking to have a public life, to be a public persona. I think he's already had 2 kids over here, and I think he's just trying to, live in peace and not actively make things happen. But I could be wrong. And would I want to have Snowden on the show? Well, it would certainly be interesting. But with the platform I do my shows on, I have to be careful because I have been offered to do certain things, and I've said I'm not sure if I want to do that because I don't want to get canceled by my platform, if you know what I'm saying. So I got to be smart. I gotta play this board game correctly to win, and I want to have a positive influence in the world. And if I just say whatever I want and get deleted, well, then I have zero influence. And I mean, there are channels like the news channel that I share a lot of stories on. The Lotus Eaters, they were demonetized just for their association with somebody. Hey, Sveta, do you watch every video Joseph makes?
No. Sorry.
My wife always watches every video I post on YouTube, someone said. Aha! Yes, that was Short who said that. Well, Short, I don't think you post as many videos as I have, no offense. And honey, you have watched almost every video, to be fair.
I'm trying to watch almost.
She has watched 95% of the videos, I would
but not
say.
all of them.
It's worse. She needs to do better, I think, at reading the comments and answering some of the comments. And now something completely different. Are restaurants and shops pet friendly? Have you been to the zoo?
Some shops are pet friendly, like the shop Usville. You can see the picture of the dog, and you can go with your dog inside. And have you been to the zoo? I think we have been.
We have been to the zoo once. And see, that's how busy we are, guys. And we're like, oh, we should go to the zoo. Oh, we should go to the fake Disney park in Moscow. And it's like we've been here for a year and a half, and we only went to the zoo once, and we just saw a little bit and had to go. And now it's getting cold again. So will we go to the zoo soon? I don't think so. So yeah, I have seen pets on the metro, but not that often. And like Sveta said, there are signs on doors saying if something is pet friendly. All right, guys, so I am going to be sure and end this stream before it hits 1:30. And we're at something like 1:22 now. And I can see we went up to something like 75 in the live chat, and now we're down to like 63. So it looks like we are winding down. So if you have any questions about kids in Russia, ask them quickly before we go. Sveta, as a mom living in Russia with children, what's something you think you should share? No pressure. I'm going to see if there's another question while you think about that. What should people think about who are interested in Russia?
I'll make a joke.
Okay,
I need to be
make a loud joke.
That my American husband will watch that my children are wearing hats and gloves in the winter time and the proper boots and not get sick. I'm just kidding.
No, but it's true though, because I will forget some of that stuff sometimes. Just like when we were in Florida, she would forget some things because I didn't grow up here. I don't know how bad winter can be. She didn't know how bad summer could be. Like I would see her taking the kids outside in Florida in summertime with no hat, no sunglasses. I'd be like, what are you doing? You know, they have to wear sunglasses. They always have to wear sunglasses. You're going to damage their eyes. She's like, what? What are you talking about? And the same for me with hats and gloves. I'm like, is it that cold? Did I have to bring it? We're just going to the superstore.
Yes, it is that cold.
How long does it take you to assist your kids with their home tasks? Tell them something loudly, Svetlana.
How long? So I would say about an hour. So Christoph is in the 2nd grade. So an hour a day, I would say, on average. Yeah.
So don't forget your fur coat. Don't forget sunscreen, earmuffs. Right. Do you find your kids' homework challenging or overwhelming?
I would say math is challenging, but I'm helping him. I'm helping Christoph. So, but without the help, it will be overwhelming. With the math, because our school is kind of like specialized in math, like silent rule. It's not really a specialized school, but it seems like math is very, very serious in the school.
So Christoph is really the only child that you have to think about that right now.
Right now, yeah.
He's
in a couple of years, it'll be.
He's the only normal age child we have. Maxine's too little, and the other kids are too big.
I'm enjoying this too little age. It's nice.
Someone just said, try to learn Russian. It's easy. Thanks. I really appreciate that comment. Would you say living in Russia is like living in NA? North America, 10 to 20 years ago, before things went way off track, let's say. I want you to answer that, but I'll say first, I often say it's like 1950s America here. And, you know, it's just like a prototype in your head. It doesn't mean that 1950s America was perfect, but we have this idea about 1950s America from watching the Leg Lamp movie, Christmas Story, or watching Back to the Future. Like, it was just like, you know, the wars were over and everything was like wholesome and fine. And I do have that feeling a lot of times here in Russia. Sveta, what do you think?
Well, it's hard for me to compare. I have never been like in that time in America. What I've heard for some Russians who left Russia like in 90s, that it was like really great over there.
In North America?
In North America. And now it's kind of declining, it's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
And Russia is developing. So that's what I'm hearing, because it's hard for me to say. I went to America in 2013, but I could see that it was changing, not in a good way. Mm-hmm. So from 2013 until nowadays.
And I was born in 1974, and I had this feeling through the 80s and most of the 90s, like life was good and America is good. That was just the impression that I felt inside. Of course, I was young. I hadn't lived a whole lot. I'm not saying it was perfect, but that's the impression I was given. And I didn't feel that way about America for the last 5 years, especially 10 years to a degree as well. There's a new Russian textbook. Have you seen it?
New Russian textbook?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, we answered that one quickly. We got just about 3 minutes left here, and I'm going to hang up. So send us a question quick if you got it. And are you having a similar impression now?
Similar impression about
it's probably back to the North America 10 or 20 years ago. So, yeah, too bad Halloween's over. So Russians don't like Halloween. They're kind of scared of Halloween. And I can't fault them for it. It is kind of weird. If I didn't grow up with Halloween, it would kind of freak me out. Right, Sveta?
Right. But I remember one of my friends, he was kind of criticizing Russia in a joking way. He said, yeah, it's a very interesting tradition to be in there, in the cemetery and sitting there and eating something and drinking vodka. And I said, yeah, it's kind of strange. But, we also have some strange traditions.
Right. Well, like Maslenitsa, let's say.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be offended by Maslenitsa.
For us, it's not strange at all. For us, it's like, something we adjusted to. We do it every year.
Oh, so the follow-up is, do I feel like being in Russia, does it feel like the 70s? Well, I mean, I would say, does it feel like the 80s or 90s or my idea of the 50s? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. In the 70s, I was like Maxime's age. All right, guys. I see no more questions. I see lots of comments that I'm going to read in the playback in 24 hours. But I want to say thank you so much for doing this with us. It was a lot of fun. Sveta's first time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was nervous. Thank you for all your support. To speak louder.
Yeah, turn it up. Turn up the volume. And we really appreciate you guys. And we will have... get that out of the way. Oh, great. We blew it. Where are you? Are you still there? My wife hit a button and the screen went away. Aha! It's back. Okay, that was a good end. Okay, so, yeah, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks so much, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.